All right, everybody, what is up? Welcome back for another episode of the Fit 40 podcast. Today, we're going to be talking about 3 awesome things, one of which is going to be a mindset shift that is going to absolutely change the game for your fitness and nutrition. Number 2 is going to be why you should lift heavier weights. If you've been avoiding it, I'm going to give you some pretty damn good reasons as to why you should probably lift a little bit heavier. And I'll tell you all about one of my clients who's like a living example of that right now. And number 3 is how to track your protein. I know it's one of those things that comes up and it's an issue for some people. So we're going to talk about exactly how to do that in a way that is easy to do. It's simple and you'll be able to track with ease. So did I mention it was easy? But yeah, let's dive into it. So first and foremost, let's cover this big mindset shift. A lot of people fall into this trap, and I know it's very common, especially at this time of the year when we have seasonal affective disorder stuff going on, where we're kind of down in the dumps when there's the election and all that stuff going on. It's very easy to focus on things that are not good. It's very easy to focus on the things that get us pissed off, that get us frustrated, that get us in this negative mindset that really doesn't serve us well. And what we want to do and what we want to try to focus on every day is to focus on the good stuff. And it takes a lot of effort. It really, really does. And if you haven't heard me talk about this yet on the podcast, we're going to do a quick little exercise to emphasize this point. So right now, take a minute, whether you're on the road, in the office, at home, whatever. Just if you're driving, drive safe. But try and focus on things that are black right now. Just anything around you that is black. Take a second, look around, check it out. All right. Now, without looking around again, how many things that were in your area were red? Probably can't even think of one thing, right? Maybe one, maybe two. If you're watching me, I have red on, but it's very hard when you're looking for something else to see all the other stuff going on. And this happens all the time when people get down in the dumps, when they get in this negative mindset of all this stuff going on. It's so hard to pick out the really good stuff that is going on in our lives. And along the journey, when it comes to fitness, when it comes to nutrition, like there's a lot of really good stuff going on most of the time that we don't account for. And I see this all the time in clients because we'll see a check-in come in and all of a sudden it's like, okay, this is for the week from hell. Everything's going wrong. I don't know what the point is anymore. Like I feel like I'm failing. And then I'm like, yeah, but did you notice X, Y, and Z that you're absolutely crushing right now? And they're like, oh no, I actually had no idea. Okay. A lot of times we are blind to this stuff. So when you are starting your own journey, if you're doing it on your own, one of the biggest things that you want to do is have some markers that you're keeping track of and have some things that you know are going to consistently improve that you can look at and be like, okay, I did this well, I did that well, I did that well. This one thing isn't going so great, but I'm not going to let that consume my mindset and make it feel like this whole thing is a failure. So what are some of those things? Number 1 is when it comes to food choices, picking things that leave you feeling better. Now, calories aside and all this other crap aside, when it comes to food, how do you feel when you're done eating? Do you feel like a bloated mess from eating tons of stuff that your body does not like? Or do you feel satisfied? Do you feel light? Do you feel like you have a lot more energy, or do you want to sink into the couch? There's like polar opposites here. If you're so used to eating and feeling low energy and like a slouch, but then all of a sudden you make a change and you feel like $1,000,000 and you feel better, focus on that. That is a giant win, because if you can chase that feeling over and over and over again, you're more likely to make better food decisions going forward. But if you only focus on, oh, the scale didn't move, then you're less likely to keep doing the things that you need to be doing. All right. Then next is eating more protein and veggies. Like we all know, lean protein and vegetables should be on our plate in one way or another, but a lot of people struggle to do that. So being that you are taking your nutrition seriously and you're like, hey, I'm going to get this on the plate, and you do that over and over and over again. And even if it's not every single meal, but just more than you used to be eating when it comes to protein, when it comes to vegetables, like now your consumption is elevated compared to like a month or 2 ago. That's a huge win. And then the easiest thing to really notice, the easiest thing to pick up on, that's that quick hit of instant gratification, is in the gym. This is one of the best reasons to go work out, because if you're able to use heavier weights, do one more repetition, like do these things that you otherwise couldn't do a couple of weeks, a couple of months ago. You have instant proof that, hey, I'm improving. You added 5 pounds to the bar compared to last week. Awesome. You were able to do the exact same amount of work, but you feel way better. You don't feel like you just killed yourself. Now you're like, oh, I've got some energy leaving the gym. This feels pretty nice. That is a gigantic win. That means that you're building muscle. It means that you're building lean tissue, like bone mineral density, all that good stuff that you want later in life. So you're setting yourself up for success down the road. That's something to be proud of, but it's so easy to discourage yourself and just say, not good enough. It's so easy to just take that stuff for granted and be like, it's really whatever, not a big deal, when it is a huge deal. So get in the mindset and get into the rhythm of appreciating these small wins, and not just like appreciating them, but also seeking them out. You need to be in that active mindset of, I'm looking for this stuff. Otherwise, you're just going to take it for granted and it's going to float by you and you're not going to notice. So if you take nothing else from this podcast, try and notice one thing today that you think that is worth celebrating. And it doesn't matter how big or small it is. If it's an improvement, it deserves to be celebrated. Now, notice I was talking about lifting heavier towards the end of that, which brings us to the next thing, which is the importance of that. Because a lot of people do fear the heavy weights, and I get it. It's intimidating. You don't want to lift these heavy things. But if we were to equate them, like, let's be honest, how heavy is a toddler? 20, 30, sometimes 40 pounds, depending on how well they eat and their genetics and everything. Like, how heavy are the groceries that we're picking up when we're trying to make it in one trip? Okay, that's probably 40, 50, maybe even 60 pounds. But anything past these 10, 15 pound weights, we're like, nope. Okay, catching where I'm going with this. Now, I want to give you a little bit more than that, though, because it's easy for me to just sit back and say, you should do this, you should do that. But the proof is in the pudding. And I want to highlight one of my clients that's crushing it right now. Her name is Kate, and we've been working together over the past 2 months, and she has been absolutely crushing it. Like, for example, when it comes to right now in her program, she's doing dead bug floor presses, which are basically your feet are up in the air and you're pressing dumbbells up and down. So it's kind of like a floor press, but without the stability of your feet. And she's doing that with 25 pounds. This is a 65-year-old grandma who is pressing 25 pounds, 50 pounds total, while using her core and her chest like crazy. And she's also doing tricep extensions, like where you put the dumbbell over your head and press up and down with 20 pounds. Like, she is really getting there when it comes to strength. And she was holding back a little bit in the beginning and not really going for it just yet. But then she gained the confidence, and like, she sent me a message and she's like, oh my God, I set a personal best. And I'm like, this is awesome. Yes. And for anybody who thinks that lifting these heavy weights gets you bulky, let me just run you her stats. All right. This is just under 2 months. Down 2 inches in her waist, down an inch in the hips, down 6 pounds of body fat, and gained 2 pounds of muscle. So what exactly does that mean when I'm laying out all these stats? Okay. Basically, from her lifting heavier and having some basic nutrition things to follow, okay, the scale, maybe it didn't move as fast because it shows only a 4-pound decrease, because that's the difference between 6 pounds down of fat and 2 pounds gained of muscle. Yes, so the scale isn't as rewarding, but clothes fit better a lot faster. You're going to feel more energized because you have all this muscle making it easier on your joints. That's making it also easier on your heart by doing all of this exercise. So you're improving your cardiac health by doing certain workouts, and strength training can do that, especially in untrained populations. Okay, you're also more likely to keep the weight off, because when you have more muscle, your body has to burn more calories to maintain that. So you can eat more food and be at less risk of putting weight back on. So when it comes to lifting weights and strength training, the goal should be to lift as heavy as you can in a certain rep range. I prefer 4 to 8 or 5 to 10 because that's usually pretty solid. Okay, in a pain-free way. making sure that you're not pushing it to the point where you're getting hurt, but you are feeling the muscular burn. Okay. There's a big difference on that. And I've done a few podcasts on that. The one with Dr. Susie Spurlock is a really, really good one. Highly recommend checking that out if you want to scroll back. But understanding the difference between good and bad pain and really leaning into the good, which is the muscular burn, the fatigue that comes from lifting heavy stuff. That's the stuff that's going to change your body for the better. All right. So if you can lift heavy and pain-free and do that consistently and leave the gym feeling better when you basically leaving feeling better than when you came in. So for anybody who feels pretty stiff to start the day, especially in this 40 plus population, I get it. Like you start the day and it's a little bit like the Tin Man. Wicked reference, by the way. Highly recommend you guys go see it. But if you feel like the Tin Man in the morning and then you get your workout in and you're able to push heavy weights and you've warmed up all those muscle tissue and you're feeling looser, you're going to move more throughout the day. And by moving more throughout the day, you burn more calories. And again, it is all leading to good things and keeping you active and healthy. So there is no reason not to lift heavy unless it hurts in a bad way. And it can really, really help to hire a personal trainer and really learn the right way, the right form, how to load properly and not just go as heavy as possible, as quickly as soon as you walk in. And also, if you are in pain, reaching out to a physical therapist and getting them to have eyes on you. Not a physical therapist that sticks you in a corner and gives you ice and stim. No, a physical therapist that actually watches how you move and they see how you squat, how you hinge, how you press, how you pull, whatever that area is that's affected. They better be checking how that area moves. Otherwise, they're just collecting the insurance money and calling it a day. So make sure you see somebody who's worth seeing and not wasting your time. And then last but not least, last on the agenda today is protein, because this is a really nice add-on in addition to exercising, because protein is one of those things that you need to maintain and gain lean muscle tissue and build bone density and all that good stuff. So this is like a 1-2 combo. Now, this comes off of a question I got from one of the members of the Fit40 family Facebook group. If you guys aren't in it already, get your butts in there. Regina asked, so how do you track protein? I posted up a picture of my protein shake and that it was like, basically I start the day with 60 grams because that's how many I need. Being a 225 pound dude, my requirements are a little bit higher. But when it comes to tracking protein, it can be kind of difficult, especially if you're not tracking in any which way. So basically she asked, what should I do to track? Like, how can I track my protein? And my initial jerk reaction was, you track it. But that's not the right answer, because I will catch myself, and I think a lot of trainers will do this, where they kind of just will give an answer like that and be like, figure it out. Okay, that's not what we're here for. I'm here to help you guys in whatever way that I can. So I'm going to lay it out and really give this some thought so that way you have options. So I came up with 3 solid ones that I've used with clients just by helping people on the free metabolic assessment, the people that have taken advantage of that, and pretty much anything that has worked, I'm going to lay it out right here. All right. So first and foremost is just track it. Okay. Use MyFitnessPal chronometer and plug it in there and weigh the food as accurately as you can. Scan the barcode if it has one. If you're at a chain restaurant, enter the chain restaurant, whatever. And if you're out, do your best to guesstimate, because if you're out to a restaurant, tracking can be extremely difficult. So do your best. And that's a really good way to have the most accurate number. So if you want to go that route, go that route. Now, let's say you don't want to get into the nitty gritty of all that. That's cool. Okay. You just want to know, how much protein am I getting? All right. One of the simpler ways to do it is to just measure a serving size. So whatever you're eating, put it on the scale, understand, hey, this is how much I'm getting. And then based on what the food label is telling you, based on that serving, how many grams of protein is in this thing. So you can take that number, just keep it in a notepad, and then add it all up at the end of the day, or keep like a running tab and understand that, hey, okay, I have X amount left for the day. I got to make this decision going forward. And having that awareness can help you make better decisions and increase your protein just by really just thinking about it. Kind of like step count. When you literally just put a watch on and say, I'm going to pay attention to my steps, just by doing that. They have studied people and ran this through just by paying a little bit of attention, they added 2,000 steps to their day just by focusing on it. Nothing else, not saying we're going to do this, we're going to do that, just by saying, let's look at it. Because when you have that awareness, when you understand where you stand throughout the day, you make different decisions and you make decisions that line up better with your goals. So you can go that route. Or my third one is palm of protein, or 20 grams per meal. So that's about like a palm size is 20 grams of protein. So you can weigh it out and say, okay, I got at least 20 grams, check, and do that 3 times a day. Or if you want to be even looser with it, just take your palm, not counting your fingers and your thumb, just your palm size. And if you can get meat, fish, or poultry about that size, then you're good to go. And when it comes to things like yogurt, if it's 12 or 10 grams for a thing of Greek yogurt, get 2 of those, get that 20 gram mark. And then if it's eggs, like a handful of eggs, or if it's a scoop of protein, 1 scoop is usually about 20 grams. So you're good to go on that. Now, those are my 3 favorite ways that I've seen work really, really well for people, but it's all different. Like some people will use the palm of protein and the 20 grams and increase their protein, but their overall goal, if it is something like weight loss, for example, might not exactly do the job. It may put them in a great position, but it might not, because it's not exactly really giving them all the information that they need to make the most informed decision to account for things like calories, which matter the most in that situation. But for somebody that's just trying to, say, maintain their weight or build some muscle, and they want to put themselves in the best situation to do that, it could be incredibly valuable and helpful and a lot less stressful. So give it a go. Whatever floats your boat, whatever lines up with your goals, give it a try. And if you want that next level of tips and support and pretty much ongoing help to implement this, that's what the challenges in the Fit 40 family are for. So the December one lines up perfectly with this because it's all about portion control and getting some protein in. So if you want 2 weeks dedicated to really honing the skill of keeping your portions in check through what we're going to call the 1 plate rule, and also making sure that you get protein at every meal throughout the day, and you need that little kick in the butt, that's what the challenge is for. So be sure to join the Fit 40 family, get the details, sign up. I'll put the sign up link down below too, so you can just do it right here. It takes 2 seconds. You just throw your name and email in, and then I send you the welcome packet, and we're off. We're going to do the kickoff call this upcoming Monday. So that would be, what is that? The 9th of December. So make sure to get in before that ends. Make sure to sign up, get the links, get the information, and then we kick it off on that Monday. All right. But also, I will say, if you want that next level past the challenge, more than welcome to join the Fit 40 program. And that's where we really individualize it and make sure that like you get that ultimate experience of, okay, this is your situation. This is what you want to accomplish. This is what we're going to do based on X, Y, and Z, like based on your goals, your lifestyle, and all that. So if you do want to just say, you know what, I want the whole shebang, then you could do that as well. That link will be down below. You just apply for Fit 40 coaching and we hop on a call and see if it's right for you. All right, but that's it for today. Hope you got a lot out of this, and I will see you all on Monday with our next guest, who I am very much looking forward to you guys hearing what they have to say. I'm not going to spoil anything. Just be sure to tune in on Monday. But until then, go kick some ass. I'll see you